In the bustling coastal town of Kita, Ghana, where the sea breeze mingled with the aroma of grilled tilapia, the Mensah family gathered for their annual dinner. The long teak table gleamed under woven raffia lamps, reflecting the pride of Kofi's family. Kofi sat at the table's edge, his cane resting against his chair, his quiet dignity a stark contrast to the boisterous chatter. His wife, Adwoa, radiant and sharp-tongued, leaned toward her new suitor, Kwame, her laughter cutting through the air. To Adwoa, Kofi was a burden, a man diminished by his accident. To those who knew his secret, he was a titan cloaked in humility. Adwoa's voice dripped with disdain. Kofi, if you weren't so useless, maybe I wouldn't need someone like Kwame. The table erupted in laughter, Kofi's mother smacking, his father looking away. Kofi's eyes, calm under the soft light, held no tears, only restraint. Be careful, Adwoa, he said evenly. Some things are worth more than you think. Adwoa slammed her glass down. Worth? You've been living off my family's charity for years. Then she did it, leaned forward, spat near his plate, and hissed, "You're nothing." The room went silent. Kofi didn't flinch. His gaze, steady as stone, met hers as if etching her face into memory. Then, quietly, he pushed his chair back. "Excuse me. I've had enough of this." As he limped out, Kwame snickered, "Don't trip on your cane, old man." Laughter chased Kofi into the humid night. Alone under the stars, his hands trembled, not from pain, but from the irony. The family mocking him had no idea he owned Volta Enterprises, the company his parents had served as clerks for decades, the same company Adwoa ridiculed him for not understanding. Kofi leaned on his cane, staring at the moonlit waves. He whispered, "You don't know, Adwoa, do you?" In his modest home, a portrait of his late father hung in the study, its stern eyes watching. "I kept my promise, Dad," Kofi murmured. "I married for love, but love turned to ash." Flashbacks flooded in, the car crash, the screech of metal, Adwoa's voice fading as he woke in the hospital, his legs weakened. Her warmth turned to duty, then disgust. She left him with a note, "I can't do this anymore." Months later, her engagement to Kwame was announced. To the world, Kofi was a broken man, but he knew better. His patience was thinning. That night, he called his father's old lawyer, Mr. Atsu. "Kofi," Atsu's voice crackled with surprise. "It's been years." "I'm ready," Kofi said. "It's time to take control of Volta Enterprises." Atsu paused. "This is permanent, Kofi." "Are you sure?" Kofi's voice was still. "I've never been surer." As thunder rumbled over Kita, his reflection in the window looked resolute, dangerous. Morning light bathed Kofi's study, where he reviewed company files, ownership deeds, financials, all bearing his name as majority shareholder of Volta Enterprises, the empire his father built. He pressed the intercom. "ESI, bring Mr. Atsu in." Atsu entered, briefcase in hand. "The restructuring papers are ready," he said. "Sign these, and you control all executive decisions, including terminations." Kofi nodded, his pen steady. "They spat on me, Atsu. They don't know I signed their paychecks." Atsu sighed. "Then let's show them." Each signature felt like shedding a skin, the quiet husband replaced by a man forged in betrayal. "Schedule the board meeting for Friday," Kofi said. "Adwoa's family will be there." Atsu raised a brow. "They won't know what hit them." Kofi's lips twitched. "They never do." Later, he stood on his balcony, the scent of sea salt heavy. Memories of Adwoa flickered, her laughter at their wedding, her promises of forever. Forever lasted 4 years. Adua's text came that afternoon. Kofi, I want to discuss a business deal with Volta Enterprises. She thought he was just a go-between. Kofi replied, tomorrow, my office. The next day, Adua and Kwame strode into Volta's sleek Kita office, her heels clicking with confidence. Employees nodded respectfully, knowing the man they mocked was their boss. In the boardroom, Kofi sat behind a polished desk, Kane at his side. Adua's smile froze. Kofi, what are you doing here? Kwame laughed. We are meeting the CEO, not you. Kofi's voice was calm. You are. I'm the majority owner and chairman. Adua paled. That's impossible. You're disabled. Kofi's gaze hardened. I lost strength in my legs, not my mind. He leaned forward. You wanted a deal for Kwame's transport firm. Declined. I don't work with people who spit on me. Adua stammered. Kofi, please, he cut her off. Effective immediately, your parents are terminated from Volta Enterprises. Severance by week's end. Kwame's face reddened. You can't fire my in-laws. They built this company. Kofi's eyes softened briefly. No, they served it. I own it. Security escorted them out as Adua's protest echoed. Kofi exhaled, his hands shaking, not from weakness, but release. He wasn't the man Adua discarded. He was the man she never saw. Word of Kofi's move spread through Kita's business circles. A memo from Volta Enterprises sealed it. Partnerships with Kwame Transport terminated due to ethical violations. Investors pulled out, and Kwame's firm crumbled. In their lavish beachfront home, Adua paced. Kofi's ruining us, she shouted. Kwame snapped, you said he was a nobody. Adua's voice broke. I didn't know. But Kofi wasn't done. He uncovered Kwame's falsified permits, a secret he'd ignored for love. An anonymous tip to regulators sparked a scandal. Kwame Transport owner faces fraud charges. By Friday, paparazzi swarmed their home. Kwame's clients vanished, his reputation in tatters. Kofi hosted a charity gala for Volta's foundation, arriving in a tailored kaftan, his cane gleaming. The crowd whispered, is that him? The owner? Kofi nodded graciously as reporters pressed. Mr. Mensah, did you end Kwame's firm? Kofi smiled. I ended unethical partnerships. Kwame crashed the gala, disheveled. You think this makes you a man, Kofi? He shouted. Kofi's voice was steady. Money doesn't make me a man, Kwame. It just shows who stands by you when you fall. Cameras rolled, capturing Kwame's rage. Adua, at the entrance, sobbed. Kofi, stop. But Kofi gestured to the reporters. He's doing this himself. Kwame stormed out, pride shattered. That night, Kofi sent a final letter. All assets under Kwame Transport are repossessed for unpaid debts to Volta Enterprises. K. Mensah. A handwritten note added, Adua, you taught me weakness gets no mercy. Consider this my lesson. Their home was foreclosed days later. Adua left Kwame, whispering, I need to survive. Headlines screamed, Kwame Transport bankrupt, Kofi Mensah takes control. Kofi read them quietly, then closed his laptop. At a board meeting, directors praised his strategy, but his mind wandered. Atso lingered after. You've won, Kofi. Are you satisfied? Kofi gazed at the sea. Not yet. He still has his pride. That evening, he visited the beachside store where he'd met Adua. He ordered her favorite drink, malt with lime, and left it untouched. Goodbye, Adua, he whispered. Years later, Kita's skyline gleamed with the Mensah Foundation, aiding accident survivors. Kofi, now walking with less reliance on his cane, stood in his office. Atsu handed him an old letter from Adwa, found in the archives. Kofi, I failed you. I ran from your pain because it showed my own weakness. You deserved better. Adwa. Kofi's hands trembled. She's right, he said softly. I found peace without her justice. He burned the letter, letting it end. On his balcony, Kofi watched the sunset. The empire he'd reclaimed hummed below. Revenge had been his fire, but forgiveness was his peace. He whispered to the sea, "Thank you for teaching me broken legs can still stand tall." The Mensa Foundation's lights shone, not of vengeance, but of rebirth.